For my underdogs, the ones willing to pay the cost. Even when we're up, we gotta take a loss. Underdogs are always against the odds. I'ma use this opportunity to do it for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. Yeah, my underdogs.
Welcome back to another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. I'm Kenny Edwards, joined with my co-host Lorenzo Parham. Lo, what's good, baby?
Hey, Ken, what's going on, man? Hey, we had a great episode, man. I got a lot of feedback on my episode. They said it was long. It was 2 hours. And I told them when I'm talking about myself, I could have did another hour if I needed to, right? We got a lot of jewels dropped in that, man, and a lot of people want to hear more. So definitely thanks for all the people that tuned in to that episode as well.
I didn't think it was long at all. I thought 2 hours. I watched it several times myself. I mean, not only did I do the interview, but I watched it several times myself.
I mean, the content, it was good content, so it flew by. You looked up and was like, damn, I'm at 2 hours, man. But I'm excited about this episode, man. I get to interview a childhood friend of mine, man. You know, me and this dude, Jontar, go back to 5th grade, you know. So I kind of watched the evolution of Jontar come about, you know. Like, I don't remember when he started dunking, but he just out of the blue had a whole bunch of hops. You know? So I get to hear this whole story, man, because like I said, I was there 5th grade to when we started Bret Hart together to Jontar just going to the next stratosphere with this basketball thing, man. So Tar, welcome to the show, baby. How you doing?
Hey, congratulations. Thank you for having me on this podcast, man. I watch it every week, and to see the fellas on here, you know, talking about their journey, and it inspired me, and it makes me go back to when I even played these guys or, you know, Coach Mo going against them. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Hey, man, Tar, it's a lot to dive into, man, Tar, because when we know you this Duncan, we know you went to college, played in Humboldt, you know, even won a state championship as a coach. We'll dive into that later, right? But do you feel as a basketball player, and we're going to get into deeper even further down the show, that the school you was at was kind of an underrated school and don't get as much profit as y'all should get basketball-wise?
Oh, yeah. You know, went to Skyline High. You know, I'm a rep. I'm a Mighty Titan for life. But, yeah, that was a predominantly football school. And before I got to Skyline, you know, me and Mark, was like a 1-2 punch at Bret Hart. And so we just talked. It was like, hey, you know, we seeing everybody going here, everybody going there. We said, hey, we gonna try to make a name for ourselves at Skyline. So when we tried to go up so we went up to Skyline, you know, they had a brand new coach coming in, and that was just a perfect opportunity. You know, me and Mark, for me personally, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to Skyline playing JV. I'm going straight to varsity, no matter what nobody say or how they go say it. I'm gonna go to varsity. So we get there. You know, me and Marcus doing our thing. Marcus becomes the starting point guard there at Skyline.
Hold on, Tar. Let's back up because that caught me off guard a little bit. Some things I didn't know. So let's back up. Let's get back into it, man. It's the Rec Center Podcast, man. Right. I know you from back then. If we didn't have that Rec Center, we was at Laurel hooping all day, and we had some dogs that could hoop at Laurel, right? So. You're not connected to a rec center. You're more connected to what Laurel was during that time. Right. Man, so a lot of people don't know that Laurel had a bunch of ballers playing down there, man. What was it like? I know what it was like for me growing up there. I just had to tell my son this too as well. Like, it was rough playing at Laurel. We playing on concrete. We younger, so we playing against a bunch of bullies on the court. And if you was soft to come even play, you weren't getting picked, or you was just getting fouled over and over again. What was your experience playing at Laurel, Tar?
It was all about respect. Like you said, we had some dogs. We had a lot of dogs that played up there. I can't even name them right now, but if you didn't win, you would not get back on that court. So my thing was, if I stay on this court, I'm going to stay on this court the whole time. I'm going to find ways to stay on the court. I'm going to find a way. I might have to block your shot, rebound. You might get dunked on, you know, jump shot, going to the hole. I would try to find ways to stay on the court. And also at that time, I was picking pieces from each player that we was playing against. Like every player that would play against me, I would find a little thing that I can have in them that I can put in my game. So my repertoire was going to be built up by my opponents. Every time my opponents would play against me, I would use that as a teaching tool, and I would use that for myself to go against them when I played them again. Like Correga Hart. Correga Hart was playing at Laurel all the time. And I used to see him come up there, and he would be shooting by himself, just shooting jump shots. And I would come up there and shoot, and I would go up to him and be like, hey, you want to play? He'd be like, nah, I'm not going to play you. I'm like, okay, I'll shoot her again. He'd be like, okay, let's play. He would dog me out. Correga would dog me out. He knew the game. He was smart. I'm just a kid, just being there athletic, just trying to do what I can do to get buckets. But he was using his mind game against me, and we would play every day. And then I started getting better. Then Shamari Beverly would come up there and play. And he's a baseball guy. He would play basketball too. Yeah, he would dog me out also. They would dog me out every single time I played them. That would build up my confidence. And then one day I started talking to Correga. I was like, Correga, what high school are you going to? He was like, I'm going to Oakland Tech, excuse me. I was like, oh, okay, because I really wanted to play with Correga. Even though Correga was an older grade than me, I saw him play, and we were playing against each other. I was like, man, if I can play with a point guard like that, that'll be fine and dandy. Then to come to find out, I'm talking to my dad. My dad's friend is an OT graduate, so he takes me to one of the games. And the person I saw that I was playing that stood out to me was a guy named Terrence Richard that played. T. Rich. When I saw T. Rich play, I was like, oh, my goodness. This dude was athletic, go to the hole. He did damn near everything. He was like the Scottie Pippen when I seen him play. So I'm telling my dad, hey, I just went up to Oakland Tech. Can I go to Oakland Tech? And he was like,
hold on. Before we get on your high school decision, let's back up a little bit, man, because like we talked about Laurel. So Laurel wasn't a school outside of Correga.
No.
And to me, me personally, you probably one of the best players that played at Laurel, right?
Oh, appreciate that.
Big name players playing at Laurel. We had athletes, but they was all street dudes, right? So they were street dudes that knew how to play basketball, and the toughness they made in you was they didn't like to lose. So I remember back then we used to play 32, win by 4. You got to win by 4. Yeah. And when them games is 30 and 30, the last 4 points could end in a fight. It was going to end in a fight trying to score them last 4 points. And a lot of times, like they was athletes. I don't even know if these dudes ever even made it to high school. I don't think they ever made it to high school outside of, the good ones and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the way they played basketball and the things they taught me, like I remember one of them telling me like, hey, you want to jump higher? All you got to do is come up here and just keep trying to touch the rim. Just keep trying. Keep trying. Yep. And it's like, dude, I'm supposed to just get taller because I'm going to get high because I'm going to keep jumping at it. And then it made sense. The exercise that went into squat jumping, we didn't know nothing about, but if I keep trying, it's going to do that. So, man, them dudes was real instrumental in how they played with us being younger than them. But moving forward, Tar, now you come from Laurel and stuff like that, right? It's destined. We go to Laurel, we go to Bret Hart, right? Did you know Marcus and all of them before Bret Hart? Because I don't remember you doing the AAU thing. Not sure if you did AAU or not. But, like, you were just always good. But did you get a chance to do AAU when we was in the 6th grade, 7th grade?
No, I didn't do AAU at all. I did AAU after Bret Hart. When I got in link with Marcus Malone and his father and them. That's when I started getting into the AAU circuit. Before then, when we were just playing recreation at Laurel, that's all I did. We played all sports at Laurel. We played baseball, we played football, we played basketball, all on the concrete. But that was my tool right there. And then when we got to Bret Hart, the thing about that is Laurel, we got into a championship, and I forgot what team. Oh, Marcus was at. I think he was playing against Tassa. He was with Tassa, something like that. And we played them in a championship. And we was like, who is this little dude right? I was like, who is this little dude right here? Light-skinned little dude just with a jump shot, smooth, quick, and I'm like, I'm ready for it. He going against me, I'm going against him. Let's go. They end up winning the championship. But what I came out of it with is that, I can play with anybody. If he's that good and people say that, oh, I can play with him too. And then come to find out, he went to Bret Hart. So then when he go to Bret Hart and I go to Bret Hart and we all go to Bret Hart, oh, it's a wrap after that. It's a totally wrap after that.
Of course, he was going to Bret Hart. Shit, he lived around the corner from me.
I didn't know he lived around the. Right. You know what? I never knew he lived around the corner though.
Man,
I never knew he lived around the corner until we got to Bret Hart.
I told y'all last week my Marcus Malone story. I lost my lunch money, not knowing, like you said, who this little light-skinned dude is. Don't challenge me. Talking about I knew him from baseball, but you about to play me for my lunch money? Oh, this is a piece of cake.
It's another spray mark guy.
And then he do a crossover and a jumper, and he going right
crossover and jump, yeah.
And I'm like, hey, dude, who? Okay, dude, you can hoop. You're not a baseball player. I figured that out right then and there. You are a basketball player, man. So, but even so, man, that we talk about that Bret Hart 7th grade team.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we all started, 8th grade and things
right.
like that. You know, Marcus Malone, Coach Clarence coaching, Coach Mike, your dad coaching, right? As we moved to get ready to go to 9th grade and things like that. And the older we got, the better the competition got, you know, because Bret Hart was 25-0 the first 2 years, and then take a fluke loss to, I think it was Claremont or
we never lost to Claremont. We never lost to Claremont. We lost one game to Montera,
right? And
last second shot.
But even so, remember the Montera games, right? What was it like playing Ray Young when he was at Montera? And we knew Ray. I knew Ray from baseball as well, and realized he was a hooper. But what was it like for you? Because you on the wing, you got to guard Ray.
Challenge. Challenge. It's all about challenge. I love playing the competition. Love playing against Ray, you know, in that Montera team. You know, that atmosphere was actually kind of like a high school atmosphere when we used to go up to Montera, Bret Hart, Montera play, you know, or we go up to Bret Hart, Claremont. So I was used to the crowds already. But going against Ray, that made me want to step my game up a little bit more because I knew what type of player he was. I knew how special this dude was. You know, on the court, you know, he used to have his, you know, soul jump shoes on, you know, and you know, he was ready. So, you know, I was ready too. You know, Bret Hart wasn't no fluke. When we came to play, we was ready. We don't care who it was. And you know that you was on that squad too, Lo. We practiced.
Lo, you be downplaying your hoop skills. Lo, you can hoop, Lo.
Lo, you gotta understand. You got to understand, when we was practicing already like high school people in junior high.
We were. But Ken, I was just on the squad. Like, it's like when you hear in football and you down here in basketball, it ain't the same.
Yeah, but you ain't no scrub. It ain't like
he's not.
Lo, you can hoop.
I'm an athlete, but so Tar, now we go into the you hook up Marcus Malone, them you're playing AAU now. Did you go play at the Rebels with them? And how was that being a big difference? Because at a come a time where you outgrew Laurel. Like you way better than us. You outgrew Laurel. Right. What did your dad do to keep you getting talent after the outgrowing of Laurel?
Man, he had me watch this Michael Jordan Come Fly With Me video every day during the summertime. Every day he had me watch the movie. He was like, hey, son, I need you to watch what Michael do. Don't look at his shots. Look at his footwork. Look how he moves around. So I'll look at that for about an hour, and then he'd say, hey, it's time for us to go up to the park. You always see me with a basketball when I was up at Laurel. So my dad was like, hey, after you watch this video, you need to go work on your game. So when I went to Laurel, all I did was, if you didn't see me play against nobody or play any sports, you would see me working on jump shots. You would see me working on one-on-one full court pull-up three-pointers. You would see me do crossovers. You would see me try to dunk every time. My dad literally had to come get me from Laurel because I was always at the gym so much.
Man, so Tar, one of the things and you plateaued, I mean, you took off, people say high school, but when I knew that this is where your basketball game was, hey, I'm going to bring back your memory on this. We in the 8th grade. Okay. We playing against your cousin junior high team that was in West Oakland, that Laurel team, right? So we playing a Laurel team, and Laurel come. They probably had some 9th and 10th graders on that team.
Right, they did.
See, I knew it. Hey, they had 8th graders, and they got 8th graders with full-fledged beards like mine is right now.
Right.
They 6'5", talking hella shit, grown man, and you playing against your cousin. So the matchup is hyped up. They done brought all these West Oakland dudes that come to play, and you go off on them. You go off on them, and I'm like, hey, Tar going crazy on like just the competition like you stepped up for it, man. That's when it was like,
right.
Okay, Tar is taking off in this basketball thing, and
let me tell you why. My family, my dad, and all the side of my dad family is from West Oakland, 2-4, down the street. So I took it personal. So the people, when I was younger, I used to go to my grandmother's house and be with my cousin and play with the fellas that we used to play with at Lowe and Mac and stuff. So we played in the streets in West Oakland. So when I got a chance, an opportunity to play them on that level of Bret Hart versus Lowe, I was so ready because I said, okay, y'all played y'all boys, y'all from the West, that's fine. I'm part West too. But when I'm on this court, it's all business. So I just took all I had, was like, I'm about to beat everybody who was on this Lowe team to make y'all realize that I come to play. I come to play. And you saw it too. I think that was one of the best games that I was just focused on. Even high school, college, that game I was just straight focused.
And it's crazy. So we 13. That's literally 27 years ago. And I vividly remembered that game as if it just happened yesterday. That the zone you was in playing against your cousin. I'm like, hey, Tar on one with the basketball, man. Like he going ahead of us now, but it comes to what your dad had you doing and things like that. So me and Ken was talking offline, Tar, and I know ninth grade you still at Bret Hart.
Right.
Did you play high school in the 9th grade, JV for anybody, or did you wait to the 10th grade year?
No, see that part, and you know what? After you did that segment with Coach Mo, I instant messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't know that I can play at a junior high and then play basketball at another high school. Nobody never told me that. You know, if that would have happened, I probably would have been either at Oakland Tech, or Mac. I'm just to be truthful. If I knew that, I would have been at one of those two because that's one of those twos that I really wanted to go to. Skyline was just my third option because I was in the district, but that wasn't my first choice. My first two choices was either Tech or McClymonds. McClymonds because my family is rich. All my family on my dad's side went to McClymonds, so I wanted to be part of that. And then Tech, just like I said, playing with Correga and seeing that team, you know, I wanted to do that. But then I was like, you know what? I want to make my own man. So I wanted to go to Skyline and make my own man. So that's why I eventually went up to Skyline.
Hey, Ken, I'm sorry. I'm putting the list together.
Of all the could have been.
Tech could have been a list, right? It could have been the Tech list. I'm putting that list together because I think that list beat the real Tech team.
Probably so.
Who's on that list? B. Tucker, Marshawn, Jontar, Tony O'Kellogg,
Adriel,
and Adriel brother still went to Tech. But that's look who we missed out on, right? Definitely a great list and things like that. Even the ones that actually enrolled in Tech. Like I was a student for a day, then I left.
Right.
I was there for a year and then I left. We missed out on a lot of good hoopers, man, that we would have been the Skyline of
basketball,
football, the Skyline of basketball, if we could have kept all of them dudes that would have and should have and could have came to Tech, right? So Tar, but did Marcus play 9th grade, or did he play 9th grade somewhere?
No, we stayed at Bret Hart together. We stayed at Bret Hart together. It was 7th, 8th, 9th. We just said, you know what, we're gonna stay and try to make this work. You know, and we made it work at Bret Hart. We made it work first year at Skyline too, and unfortunately.
What was that first year at Skyline like in the 10th grade? Like, what was the first year at Skyline like? That 10th grade Skyline year.
I was ready to ball. When I was that first day of even school, I was ready to ball. I was like, I'm about to come in here and make my name for myself. I'm not playing JV. I'm going straight to varsity. I don't care what coach it is. I don't care who's in front of me. I'm about to dog anybody that's in front of me. That was the mentality I had.
You graduated in 98?
98.
Yeah, 98, yep.
So this is like 96.
96 team. Who were the seniors? Who were the seniors on that team that year?
We had Jerome Stewart.
I remember. Okay, Jerome.
Man, that's probably the vocal of, you know, our team was Jerome. Jerome was our center, our star. But then we had our juniors. We had Jabari, we had Dexter, we had Marcus Taylor, we had Bernard Beard that was coming in. You know, we had those cats. You know, Ed Ellison, excuse me. You know, we had Lee Long that was on the squad too. So it was familiar faces I seen from Bret Hart, but then that just made me more comfortable. And I knew that my skill set was ready for Skyline, or, you know, it was ready for Skyline, or even beyond Skyline at that moment.
Who was the coach at Skyline at this time?
Well, when I got there, Scott Ferris was the coach.
Okay, because he left Oakland High. Yeah. Okay, I was
trying
to put the time
he left
frame
Oakland High and came to Skyline. You know, and that situation right there, we can talk about that. Yeah, I'm gonna say, if we had a stronger coach in the heat of the moment, those games we lost, we could have won.
So Tar, how was it? You and Marcus, y'all going to Skyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all not going to Skyline as just some freshmen, 10th graders now,
right?
Who already made a name the last 3 years in junior high, and you guys coming up here, basically y'all come to try to take somebody's position.
Right.
How did that work in jail? Because we talked about Lee Long, Ed Ellison.
Mm-hmm.
They were people that was a grade higher than us at Bret Hart and Hoop. But now it's coming like, okay, now we all at one school. Ain't no more grades. Y'all coming to try to take positions. How did that go over with them, with you guys being so young?
They was shocked. They was like, what are these little sophomores over here, you know, trying to take our spot? You know, y'all can't come up in here and do that. And well, my mentality is like, yes, I am. That's what I came to Skyline for, is to take somebody's position, or get my own position, you know, make a name for myself. So when me and Marcus come up there, it was just like if we was going back to Bret Hart. It was just like, okay, we got hoopers here. Let's try to get these hoopers to know what we are, you know. And so when we start having that, and we having like pickup games and, you know, playing outside, and we really putting in work and dogging people, you know, and they be like, okay, these boys can play. Yeah, we can play. We came up here for a purpose. You know, that was our whole motto going up to Skyline, was make a name for ourselves and put Skyline on the map. That was our whole goal.
So back then, Ken, like Skyline basketball, it was the equivalent to like Alabama basketball right now. Like we gonna talk about Alabama football, but you ain't gonna talk about nothing about their basketball team, right? So that was Skyline was back then. So Tar, you and Marcus, right? Y'all name is synonymous with each other at this point. From 7th grade to 10th grade, you names are synonymous. This is the 1-2 punch of these two that's coming to Skyline and definitely to win the championship by our senior year. Marcus transfer. What was going on with that decision? How did that help? Like, did that throw off the, bro, we were supposed to do this together type of thing? Like, how did all that play out?
It did. You know, we had a good both sophomore season, you know. He started the whole season. You know, I end up starting after a couple of games out of the preseason games because somebody, I think Ed Ellison, got hurt his ankle, and I was already the 6th man coming in. When he came in and when he got hurt, I took over. It was a wrap after that. Nobody took the position after that. But after Marcus left, I didn't even know Marcus left. He didn't talk to me or nothing. He didn't tell me he was leaving. Pops didn't tell me he was leaving. Pops didn't tell my pops he was leaving. So I'm coming back and I'm like, where Marcus at? And they were like, hey, he transferred to Fremont. And I'm like, all right. So now I got to figure out.
He pulled a Kevin Durant.
Was he disgruntled? Like what was this? Like he started his whole sophomore year. Was he disgruntled?
I think him and his dad and Coach Ferris had, you know, disagreements with something, but whatnot. Actually, I think I don't know really what happened, but I know I just heard Marcus is not coming back. He's going to Fremont, and that told me that made me kind of frustrated and mad because we was gonna do this together. You know, we was gonna do this together. We was talking 7th grade. We was like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan in the junior high. You know, and I thought we was gonna ride this wave out together, and things become that way, and you know, situations become what it is. So we have to part ways. But, you know, Marcus was always my brother to the end. You know, we all, me, you, and you was on the squad too. We had battles. With different. And now, you know, I don't have my, you know, my partner in crime with me no more. So I had to focus my time on me now. So I had to raise my game up a little bit more now. And then what that comes about, Marcus goes to transfers to Fremont. I'm playing the 3 position. My junior year now, going to my 11th, I'm playing the point guard position. So I go to the point guard position. Marcus Taylor and Jabari Gilbert, you know, we intertwine as us 3, you know, 3-guard rotation. And after that, you know, I really didn't think about Marcus after that, my junior year. You know, after he left, it was like, okay, I got to do my thing now.
So going into your junior year, and a lot of people don't talk about this 97 Skyline team, but I saw a post you made with records. I call them receipts. you posted some receipts.
Yeah, receipts. I got receipts, brother.
On what happened, right? We had Jules on here. Jules said y'all beat them that 97 team. Y'all beat them and things like that. What was it like? Like, were you guys the underdogs? To us, we talk about underrated, and a lot of times, Jabari Gilbert name is thrown out there. Ed Wiley name is thrown out there. But
Ellison,
and Ellison, right? And Ed, right? Shout out to Ed, man, because we grew up together. But
right.
Jabari was lights out. Is that your junior year? Jabari was lights out from the 3-point line. He was automatic, you know. Dexter was a hustler. Dexter would go box out, get rebounds as an undersized big man, I guess, right? And you guys beat Fremont. Y'all split 1-1 with Fremont that year, right?
Right.
Tell us about that. Break down that season for us a little bit. That your junior year.
You know what? That was my high school. That was my favorite season. I was playing point guard, and everything was clicking. You know, at one point we was 18-0. We was ranked in the state. I think it was 9th or 10th in the state that year. Before coming up to that game against Fremont, they was 17-1, and we was 18-0. And it was in the Examiner, and they had it, you know, we was 1-2 combo, so we going against each other following up. So we following up, and yeah, we was underdogs that whole season. Even though we was blowing people out by 20 or 30 points, you know, we was still getting underdogs because we second hand to the football team. You know, we was not getting that credit. So every time we blew somebody out, we was trying to get that credit. So then we go into that Fremont game at Laney. That game right there was rocking from beginning to end. That whole gym was filled up. You know, we came out with the Jordans, the white and red Jordans, our starting 5.
Typical Skyline kids.
Yeah.
They can afford the Jordans.
Yeah. We got the team.
Yeah, we got to get ready. We got to get ready. But it was talk that whole week. You know, we won, they're 2. We 2, they're 1. We're not good. We were fluke. They're good. You know, so we came out like, hey, you know what? This could be a regular old game. We pressing, they pressing. At the end of the game, it was 97-92 Skyline. I had a dunk that was on Sports Focus.
I remember that
tip dunk. Yeah, that tip dunk was on Sports Focus.
Was this an overtime game? Like 97?
No.
Up and down.
It ended at 4 quarters.
Up and down.
Yeah, 97-92. 97-92. That was the score. I remember that. It was a high flying. It was a lot of dunks. It was like I had a dunk. Dexter had a dunk. Trevor from Fremont had a dunk. Eric Roseby had a dunk. Block shots. You know, it was like a JUCO college game going on that night.
So when we look at them teams, right, and this is why we're going to say underrated, because when we look at lineup, right, this what made you guys a team that year. Because we go lineup, they now got Marcus Malone, Jules Milstead, Trevor Carson, Eric
DeAndre
Partee. What's his name?
Eric Robinson was on that squad.
No. What's his name? Is that ain't Elijah?
Rosby?
No.
Robbie?
No. The other one, he be dunking too, Tar. Let me think of his name real quick. Elliot Marshall.
Oh, Elliot Marshall. Elliot Marshall. Yes. High flyer.
So when we look at the names on this is why what they say, this is why we play the game, right? When we look at the names, they definitely more star-studded than y'all.
Right.
What was it like when y'all win and you see Marcus Malone after that?
I just smiled. I just smiled. You know, it was like at that moment, it was like you should have stayed with us. You know, we had that team. That was what we was building for that year. That's June and that sophomore year. We was building up for that for our junior year to have that team. You know, to go 23-5 and you know go 17 or 18-0 before you know the OAL started. That's what we was building up, and then to play him and Fremont and to beat him was kind of like okay, because we always won games together. You know, we always beat teams together. I never got a chance to really beat him like he beat me in sixth grade. So that sixth grade beat was, and we beat him with that 97-92 score. That was worth it because I'm like, okay, that's a little payback right there. That's a little payback. That's a little payback.
Now y'all scored 97.
Yes.
If my memory, and I need the years give me, but if my memory serves me correctly, y'all got a taste of that 81. From Winters-Patterson. Is that 97? Was that 90?
No, that's Jontar's sophomore year.
That was the year before.
All right, let me talk about that since you want to say something about
that. Hold on.
Because I'm like, y'all scored 97 as a team. This dude scored 81 by himself.
Me and
what
Tar,
the hell was that like?
Me and Tar have this, I think he scored 82. Kobe Bryant.
82.
Hey, so me and Tar talked about this before, and Tar downplayed the 82. He said, Tar, let's hear the explanation. Shout out to Winters-Patterson, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. Winters.
At the end of the day, they did have a good Balboa team, too. They had a great Balboa team. But
all right, let me tell you. All right, we going against Winters. So we going into preparation for Balboa. He was already putting in work before he even played us. I think he had 57 against 10.
No, that was against Castlemont.
Then he had 60. Then he had something
against Tech. Yeah, 36.
There you go.
57 against Castlemont. Okay.
Right. So we going in just focus on Winters. All right. How can we stop Winters? I'm like, you know what? I'm just in emotion and I'm in the swing of things. And when he comes out, they got a 6'10" center. So we playing zone. We're trying to find ways to stop this dude. So we'll shoot a shot. They 6'10" person will get the rebound, and Winters is already at half court, ready. So all he's doing is throwing a long outlet. So our coach tell us we rebound 5 people. We don't have somebody staying back. You know, that's an adjustment he needs to make. He didn't make the adjustment so quick. So we doing that, and then next thing you know, the points just keep coming. He's at 50. I'm like, what? He's at 60. I'm like, what the fuck? He's at 70. I'm like, okay. It's one play where people don't remember this or they even wanted at the game. But I actually almost took off on Winters.
Like punched him?
And actually made dunking, yes.
Oh.
Dunking.
I thought you was getting frustrated.
No, not frustrated. No. I was coming from the left sideline. I'm coming from the side wing, and it's off a fast break. The game is almost over. It's over. Okay. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm tired of it. And what I did was I got it, and I just took off. Yeah. And they was like, ooh, but that ain't compared to the 82 that he gave us. But it was like, hey, you punched it, though.
That's some ultimate bad coaching because
I'm like, you got to put somebody back.
At 35 points, we getting out of this 5 people rebound. 2 people staying with this dude because he got 35.
First of all, that's basketball 101.
He got 35 at halftime.
Somebody get back. Shot goes up, somebody get back. That's
You're not about to keep this same formation. You're not keeping the same strategy. It didn't work in the first half, and he got 35, 40 points. That's bad.
Embarrassing.
Right there.
Embarrassed. I was embarrassed the whole season. No, just for me, I was embarrassed the whole season. But it was 10 of us, and we couldn't. And this dude had 82, but he was dominant though. He was dominant. It wasn't just us giving us 82. He was giving everybody else the business too. So I was like, hey, we were just part of his arsenal.
Damn. So, hey, but let's go back to that 10th grade year. Y'all beat Fremont in that game, but how did the season end? Like, what did y'all finish in the regular season at, and what happened in the playoffs? Because I don't remember did y'all make it to the championship that year?
Oh, no. We didn't make it at all.
What happened?
We end up tying with Fremont. We was 8-2 in the league. And we lost first round. just basically lost first round. You know,
To who?
It's coaching.
To who?
We lost to Mac.
That's understandable.
96. Yeah, we lost to Mac in 96. We lost to Mac. Yep, that's who we lost to. Yeah. And that team, we beat them that year. We beat them one.
How about your junior year?
You're talking about 97. 97.
97. Yeah, we lost to Mac.
I lost to Mac.
We lost to Mac.
Okay.
We lost to Mac. All my playoff losses to Mac. My senior year, we lost to Mac. I think I showed you the clip where I dunked on my cousin.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, we lost to Mac that year. We lost to Mac all my 3 years.
Do y'all feel like step cousins or whatever you want to call it to the football team? Like when y'all walking on campus, is it like this looming shadow of like, damn, we ain't gonna never be the football?
I felt like I was the man.
Oh,
yeah, you were. I'm
gonna tell no, Ken. I'm gonna tell you the truth because football already had their stuff established. They was already established, but actually they was trying to hype us up. The football team was
so there was a
hyping us
bond.
up.
It was a bond.
Yeah, it was with some of them. Yeah, I had bonds with all the football players. Yeah, they was hyping me up. I was hyping them up. Can you give me 5 dunks a game? It was genuine. It was something like that. Yeah. So it wasn't no animosity like Jay. No, it wasn't no animosity between the two sports. We had love for all the sports at Skyline, as I see it.
Skyline is a brotherhood school.
Yeah.
It is. You figured that out already, Ken. It's a brotherhood.
But I thought it was by sport.
I think it's every other school by sport. Because at Tech, it was like we trying to figure out who runs the school.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah,
or the basketball team,
Basketball to me at Skyline was a sport. I mean, you was initiation at Skyline too for a sport too. You had to get your name known at Skyline. If you didn't play no sports and they didn't know you, other than being a street boy, they ain't gonna know who you are. So
baseball is winning at this point too, ain't it?
Yeah. So 97 was a great year for Skyline because we made it to the playoffs. Football made it. Football made it. Basketball made it, and then baseball was doing their thing too. So it was a good year.
I think Tech was winning it, but Skyline baseball always been good. Though.
Yeah, we had good sport. We had good teams that year.
So Tar, you come into OAL your 10th grade year, the whole winter Patterson thing. We're not even gonna speak on that.
Nah.
What was the welcome to the OAL moment for Jontar?
For me, against Oakland Tech. Against Jamal Morrow and all them, that squad.
Marshall Collins and them squad.
Yeah. I had a good game that game. Actually, I had that was my first OEL game. I had a double. I had 10 points, 10 rebounds, and I think I had like 5 steals or 4 blocks, something like that. Something crazy, just stat stuffer. I had the game winning steal as a 10th grade. I had the game winning steal to seal the game. And I threw a pass to Jabari in the corner, and he won the game for us. So that was one of my stepping stones of the OEL. That's when I got praised after that. They hardly knew me yet. I mean, they knew me, but they didn't know me at the OEL until, that game. And the Gavic started recognizing, all the coaches started recognizing. I'm like, okay, that's where I need to be.
I feel like once you make a play like that in OEL basketball, and once you get in the Tribune, it's like your chest just stick out a little.
Yeah.
It's the Tribune and the combination of sports focus, right?
Yeah, sports focus.
Sports focus puts you on the map, right? Like that solidifies you.
It's like it don't matter where you go, you good. Like you could go anywhere you want in the city and you gonna be fine.
Right. That was the motto too. That was a goal too. That was the goal.
Yeah.
The goal was to be. The goal was, and when I made the OEL, that Tribune and all that, I was like, yeah, I made it. That's my stepping stone.
Teachers start giving you a little slack. Security guards let you come in a little later after lunch.
I didn't get that.
Right.
I didn't get that.
Right.
I didn't get that.
I got a little bit of it. I got a little taste of the fame. It was good though. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
The girls get a little sweeter to you. You know
what? I wasn't even into them like that though. I was focused. I had girls, but I was focused.
Tar was
focused, and they never came up to me.
Well, I couldn't have went to Skyline or Tech.
They never came up to me. I don't know why. Sorry to y'all, but
so
I was focused.
Tar, let me put you on the spot. We mentioned, I've said it, underrated. One of the underrated players that don't get talked a lot is Jabari Gilbert. Jabari Gilbert used to light it up, right? But did you see anyone else that you figured was like a little underrated for what they did?
Marcus Taylor.
MT.
MT was underrated. Dude was a baller. Dude had a sweet jump shot. He knew the game. He knew where everybody needed to be. Sometimes he put me in places, the perfect spot where I need to have a good jump shot, or he put me in a place where where I can get an easy layup or a quick dunk or something. He put me in the right places. So yeah, that dude was underrated because people say he was shouted because of me and Jabari. But he was kind of like the glue also. You know, we had glue people. Dexter was a glue. You know, Kent Christian, you know, was our center in that 97 team. He was a hustler. He reminded me of Udonis Haslem. You know, he's not a big name, but he would get the little rebounds and the hustle points for it. So, like you said in your other episodes, we had a team, but we just didn't have a coach.
Hey, but you just went. Hold on. Sorry, your Wi-Fi went out a little bit. You went brotherhood on us, man. There you go. You went brotherhood on us. Give us someone outside of Skyline that you felt was underrated.
Outside, Trevor from T.O.
Hey,
yeah. Trevor was.
I don't like the way Ken looking when he hears Trevor Thomas' name. What's your thoughts on Trev, Ken?
Trev's on my overrated list.
Oh, the overrated list?
Yeah.
I don't know, Ken. He used to fill it up even as a 10th grader on varsity with them dudes, Ken. Like, where do you get the overrated Trev from? Let's hear that one.
I just didn't think he was that good.
Trev was
when Tech won it in what, 98?
They won it by default though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was just what, and then it was like, and I was just like, I played against him.
He was a 3-year starter though. Trev used to do his thing.
But but you know how y'all say like Ryan Fernandez or Dewey, it was like they was good, but it was just like the hype though.
Okay.
Like I didn't see. I don't put him on Marshawn's pedestal. I don't put him.
No.
I don't even put him with Marcus Malone or Jontar. Like.
No,
but he was blown.
He was a solid player. He was a solid player. He was solid. He was solid.
He could dribble. He could make a layup. He could hit free. He was cool, but he wasn't like.
He was solid. He was solid. He was solid.
Hey, non-biased. I'm a Bulldog. My guy Trev was a Bulldog, man. Trev was able to play, Kenny. Like he was good. When he held his own because you got to think he the man on that team. So they gunning for Trev every play. But Trev had to play against the Jontars on defense. He a 10th grader and got to play against the fucking Raymond Holtz and all of them. So I wouldn't put him on an overrated, but I can see how you come with your thoughts when you're comparing them to the Marshawn's and Jontars and Marcus Malone and to living up to the hype type of thing.
I only played against Trev 1 year. I don't want to make this a Trev episode. Let's get to Jontar, but I only played against Trev 1 year. He was a senior. I was a 10th grader. And just the hype, and then Tech went. It was just like, and then when we got on the court, I just didn't see it. And then in the playoff games and stuff, I just didn't see. I didn't see the you know what I'm saying? I didn't see that. I saw a solid. He was a low key.
He was a low key player that he would give you the points when you need it. He wasn't gonna give you the rah. He wasn't gonna give you that.
I saw a solid high school basketball player. That's what I saw.
He gave him that.
Yeah, he was good.
So Tar, he go to the overrated question. Tar, who did you come in the OEL? You hearing about dudes before you get there, and then when you play them, even if during the season, whatever, even from your sophomore year to your senior year, that you felt was overrated, like didn't deserve the hype they got.
Overrated. Let me think. Overrated. Let me think. You know what? I'm not gonna be biased, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. OEL was tough. OEL was tough.
You know that.
I really can't. I really can't say anybody. I really can't say anybody, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you because all the competition, like from top to bottom, it was like you say, any given night, anybody could have won. Anybody, any upsets. So I don't have one, bro.
So since you didn't have
y'all be looking at these dudes like.
Hey, so since you
there's a lot of overrated cats out there.
It was, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt on that. I'm not gonna say it because I didn't have to play against them, you know. So
Right.
it was different if I had to play against them. So I'm gonna not give you that one, Tar. So now I gotta put you on the spot with our start bench cut. I got 2 start bench cuts for you, Tar. The first one. So when Marcus Malone goes to Fremont, he's now the wing and DeAndre Pertez the point guard, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So here go my wing. Start bench cut. You got Jabari Gilbert,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Malone, and Mark Cole out of McClimus.
Woo! All right, I'm gonna start Jabari Gilbert. I'm gonna bench Marcus Malone, and I'm gonna cut Marcus Cole.
Now, if you didn't go to Skyline and play with Jabari, would you start him?
Yeah.
Oh,
The boy was nice.
You know what?
The boy was nice. The boy was nice.
I never saw. I don't remember Jabari. I never saw him play. So I can't really speak on.
Listen, if I had to look at them both like that, and we talking from the wing, Marcus put up more shots, so he probably made more three. Jabari was more efficient. From the 3-point
There you
line.
There you go. Because I can tell you a play now that I can tell you now that if I was on the court with him, I was safe with him on the court. Like I would throw the ball and I knew that the ball would go in. That's how I say it. You know, that's how I was with Jabari. Like I was passing the ball and I'm like, it's going in before I even passed the ball to him. You know, so I had my faith in Jabari. So that's why I say I had Jabari starting. You know, Marcus in on the bench and Marcus Cole cut. Don't get me wrong, Marcus Cole was a baller too, but Jabari was a silent assassin. He'd have 21 or 28 on you, you wouldn't even know it. You would see my 17 points and my dunks, but you would see his 20 points. And you'd be like, how do you get 20 points? You know, he was efficient.
I'm gonna have to put Jabari Gilbert on my underrated because I don't remember dude.
He was scorer. He was automatic, Ken. Like his 3-point shots was kind of automatic on that wing. Right. And then he was like a fucking 89% free throw shooter.
Yep.
I hate that I missed it.
He had the slow motion game, but when he put up that slow motion, but he put up numbers quick though. It was like
like who's the number 15? Like who the fuck is this?
Right.
Dude? Like because he wasn't all hyped up like that. It's the kind of player you wanted. We had one at Tech like that too as well. Dude named Donald Myers, right?
I remember Donald Myers.
Donald Myers was like that too. He was like low key dude. Trev got all the hype, but Donald Myers was stroking his 3-point shots was all day. He was automatic from that. D. Myers was an underrated player as well too. He kind of came under the Trevor hype. But here go my second one. Because we know Jontar dunking on people. He likes to get his dunk on and all this stuff. Here goes some dunkers. I want you to start bench cut. We got Big Bro. Shout out to my Big Bro, Town Royalty, Marshawn Ferris. Then you add Luke Mine to the equation. We got Luke. I wanted to add Juma to that, Tar, but I don't think you go.
Oh, you can add me. I'm starting myself. I'm starting myself. I'm benching Luke Mine and I'm cutting Marshawn. Sorry, Big Bro. So I can jump higher than you.
I'm not putting you on that. So we're gonna go with. I'll put Trevor Carson in there.
Okay. Luke Mine. I'm starting Big Bro.
You starting Marshawn?
I'm benching Luke Mine. And I'm cutting Trev. That's how it's going to go.
Now, are we talking just dunking or are we talking about game?
Dunking, dunks.
Luke number one for sure.
Hey, but hold on. Tar, that was kind of like, didn't sound right. Because if you were in the equation, you cutting Marshawn. But if you're not in the equation, you're starting Marshawn.
Yeah, that's how it's going to go. If I put myself, I'm starting. Because me personally, Luke Mine, I had a story for y'all. Me and Luke Mine was at the rec at LA 24-hour fitness in downtown one year. And we had a dunk contest. Nobody never knew about it. We were just going at it. Me and him going at it.
Who won?
But nobody know. We was just dunking.
So Tar, before we let you get out of here, that's good time.
What's up?
Man, send us some parting words, man. Send us out with some great words.
You know what? What I used to tell my high school girls when we won this championship was to just finish strong. Anything you do in life, finish strong, because you always got to start and you always got to finish. And that finish line is the line that you want to go on. So everybody, kids, finish strong. When you start something, you always want to finish it. You know, you never want to stop halfway mark. You always want to hit that goal, you know. So I appreciate y'all doing this with me.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all having me on. I got more stuff to say, but I got to go right now. If we can do this again, we can do it.
Whatever you got to say, whatever else you got to say, just put it in the comments when this video is posted. Me and Ken,
I got you.
Me and Ken about to stay on for a minute and dissect a lot of things you just said. So put it in the comments when we post this.
All right, bros. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And I'll post up in the comments. You know, I support y'all and everything y'all do. And I'm going to be right there rocking with y'all, bros.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, Tar.
All right. Have a good one, baby.
All right.
All right.
Hey, man. Shout out to Tar for this, man. We got to break down what Tar said. He can't just throw that out there and leave.
And then shake. Yeah.
You're not leaving like that, Tar.
That's like talking shit and then walking out the gym.
So I'm going to do my start bench cut for the dunkers as well, right? Yeah. And Luke Mon goes first.
Yeah,
right?
Luke started.
I saw Luke. Shout out to Armand, man. Armand just posted one of the playoff games earlier today from that McClymonds versus Tech games.
Mm-hmm.
And a drill through Luka alley hoop. But when he throw it, Luke not even in the screen. He's not even in the screen, Ken. And I'm like, oh, he threw that away. And you just see Luke come flying over somebody, getting the ball, still gliding to the hole and dunking it, right? Luke goes number one in my start. I'm starting Luke. Secondly, I'll bench Big Bro Marchand. I'm going to bench Big Bro Marchand. And the reason I'm benching him and cutting Trevor Carson, because if Marchand had Trevor Carson height, we talking something totally different now. You know, Marchand 6'1", 6'2", Trev 6'5", 6. You know what I'm saying? Imagine Marchand at 6'5" and what them dunks will really look like. Because we're talking about someone that it's documented, it has been proved that drop steps. We need to see the video of this still.
On
Tuck and Will Levy, some giants, right? So we need to see the video still. We wish we could pull that up. But Tuck said it happened, right? So we can't take away a drop step 6'2" dunker that dunking on 6'8" and 6'9" guys, right? So we can't take that away from him, right? Then I'll cut Trev Carson. Yeah. What would you do?
Same thing. Look, but see, like, I don't know what happened in the 70s and the 80s and all that. I don't speak on that. But in terms of when I became aware of the OAL, so around 95. Luke Mon is the best dunker I've seen come through. Not overall game, but just dunking and electrifying the crowd. But nobody did it like Luke Mon. Then I would probably go Damon Powell. From Mac. Damon Powell.
But he was after the years we normally talk about.
Oh, okay. Though, right? So just like in our little section?
In the little area, yeah.
I go Luke. I got to think about it. Because I don't want to just say it because Jontar could get up.
So you didn't get a chance to see Jabari Gilbert on the start bench cut.
I don't remember. I wouldn't know him if I saw him. I don't know.
So the start bench cut, Jabari Gilbert, Marcus Malone, that's one of those you can't go wrong either way if you start Marcus or Jabari. You know what I'm saying? And you look at them both. Jabari won't have if Marcus don't start, it's an issue. Jabari, he was a humble ball player. You know, his game spoke for itself. It wasn't a overhype. He didn't come in like that. He just showed up and did what he's supposed to do, right? That's how, Jabari remind me of, remember the Lakers had the guy named Eddie Jones.
Eddie Jones, yeah.
That's who Jabari's game was like.
That's game. That's serious game.
He had played both ends of the court, but he just had a jumper too. Played both ends of the court, hustle. Didn't have an ego when he played. So you can't go wrong with either one of them. But if you start Jabari over Marcus gonna transfer anyway. So
that's crazy. Because I remember everybody else. I remember Beard. I remember Jontar. I remember Marcus Taylor. I remember X. I remember all them dudes.
You were looking for high flying, and Jabari was in the corner stroking. Stroking jumpers, man.
So, I don't remember.
Hey,
I never heard.
I wish I could have gotten to the recruitment with Jontar, because we know, and Tar not here to finish the story. I told him leave it in the comments. He went on to Humboldt State University and played there. I think he was a 4-year starter at Humboldt State. played at Humboldt State. I think he was a 4-year starter. And then also went on to coach. And I wanted to ask him about what was it like when he won a state championship as a coach. You know, a lot of us didn't win. Man, we had them people in our way. Skyline was in our way in football. You ain't winning no championship. Ken, you won a championship, so it's a little different for you, right? A little different for you. But
I wasn't gonna take no for an answer, dog.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting out of there without a chip.
And, you know, so you, regardless of what sport it was in, you wanted to get a championship.
I was gonna give me one.
Jontar finally got a choke at the state championship coaching girls basketball in Arizona, man. So definitely, man, great talking to Tar, catching up with him, man, because like I said, I witnessed the evolution of Tar, and when he like surpassed us up that was in that class grade with him outside of Marcus Malone. Yeah. Now, one of the things I would want to touch on is if Marcus don't leave and he get to stay at the point. And now your wing is Jontar and Jabari. You know, now the wing is Jontar and Jabari with Bernard and all the rest of them guys on that team. Like, that would have been a really good team. And oftentimes, you know, parents don't feel coaches, so they get out of there. You know, definitely would have been a good thing, especially for their senior year, because Skyline even had a good team their senior year, but it was like more so Jontar trying to carry it all himself his senior year.
Shit, that senior year team beat us by 50.
What?
that was one of my welcome to the OAL moments, because we was cruising in the preseason with B. Gilbert and all that. We was cruising. Man, we got to the OAL. Skyline spanked us by 50.
Damn, who was on that team outside of Jontar? They had, by this time, they got
Dominic
the little brother, Matt Taylor, Dominique Shaw, Rodney.
I don't know. Omar Nazel was playing. And I don't really remember, because I was new to the OAL, so I don't really remember everybody know who they were. But we went up on that hill, and they gave us a 50 pop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was embarrassing. I was like, wow.
But outside of Brandon and them and stuff like that, you guys wasn't really a super good team.
No, we wasn't good at all. We went 1-9. We wasn't good at all.
Yeah,
and that was like Dante Jermaine. We were 10th graders. Fred was kind of grooming us. Yeah, but bro, 50 points though?
Yeah. So that was embarrassing. Man.
Yeah, Jontar did his thing. That's how, because he had about 5 dunks.
Yeah. It was one of them things. So I wish Marcus Malone would have stayed there, man. But then again, like, you watch, even with that, speaking of Marcus Malone, you watch the evolution of Marcus go, you know, from Skyline Marcus, which is Marcus Malone, to when he gets to Fremont, he's Marcavelli now. You know?
Was he that in high school? I didn't know he was that in high school.
Yeah, he's Marcavelli. They call him in high school. He's Marcavelli, you know, so just seeing them evolutions, man.
Now, Marcus Malone has my vote for the best jumper I've seen in the OAL.
You didn't see Jabari Gilbert?
Yeah, I didn't. That's why I say that I've seen.
So,
Marcus Malone was so silky smooth.
It's one of them Klay Thompson, Steph Curry type of thing. You know, Steph Curry go pull from everywhere with the ball in his hand. That's Marcus. Klay Thompson, which is Jabari, go sit on that side and stroke every time it comes. And it's like your hand up and everything, and the shit going in, you know? So shout out to Jabari. Shout out to Marcus, man. Like I said, you couldn't go wrong with either one of them dudes. And shout out to Mark Cole, man. Mark Cole kind of lightweight, flies under the radar. And it like Mark Cole hit the underrated thing too. Another thing, one of the things, Ken, I like giving shouts out to the dudes who fathers was there that kind of helped us along the way, you know, and Jontar Coleman, daddy, was one of the ones that, you know, we saw him at Laurel a lot when I was a kid with Jontar, to being at Bret Hart, and Coach Mike, you know, always, you know, led advice, try to keep us straight and things like that. So shout out to Coach Mike, you know, Jontar daddy, because he was always there for all of us at the park and everything like that, man. So shout out to him.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Rec Center podcast with our special guest, Jontar Coleman. You can find us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at the Rec Center podcast. Also, check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Rec Center. I'm Kenny Edwards for Lorenzo Parham. We out.